Yo, what is up everybody? It's Crynzic here, and today I'm bringing you guys the basics of Photoshop and how you could use the techniques that I'm giving you in the near future.
If Lil Craig coming, it's gonna be a robbery. Hey, all my nigga purging, bitch, we on the robbing spree.
The first tool that we're going to be using is the Move tool, and the Move tool is pretty self-explanatory. What it does is it moves the selected layer that you're on. So I'll make a square, and I will select my Move tool, and I will be able to now move this around. You can move it vertical, holding shift and moving upwards or downwards, or you can move it horizontal, holding shift and going left or right. Now we're going to be doing the Marquee tool, and the Marquee tool is pretty much what it does is make shapes. The rectangular Marquee tool makes rectangles, as it says in the name, or if you would like, you could hold shift, drag, and make perfect squares. You can make a new layer, take your paint bucket tool and fill it in, then go to the Move tool and be able to now move that around as well. The elliptical Marquee tool as well does the same thing. You can make ovals or whatnot by not holding shift and going wherever you'd like, or you can hold shift and make perfect circles as I'm doing now. Make a new layer and fill in with the paint bucket, and you now have a perfect circle. The Magic Wand tool helps removing backgrounds, but not just any backgrounds. Backgrounds of mainly PNGs. So if I type in paintbrush PNG, go to Google Images, and then select a paintbrush, view image, take my snipping tool, and select the area that the paintbrush is in. I'm not going to select all of it for the video's sake. But then you press Ctrl V to paste into your Photoshop. Then you're going to press W or go to the Magic Wand tool. If it is selected on the Quick Selection tool, just hold down on the tool and it will bring up this option right here on the left. Magic Wand tool or W. Then click the background. I'll remove the white background already so you can see. Click this, then delete, and you will have a perfect outline of paintbrush or whatever shape you're using. But this does mainly work for PNGs, because what the Magic Wand tool does is follow the paths up to a certain point. So there's one main path in the background of this, which is the white background. That would be the main path. Or if I would want to, the other second path would go up to here, and then this would be a path, this is a path, this is a path, this is a path, and these are paths. And for this, if you were to select a Christmas tree or something, or you want to get the background out of something, or you want to get something out of a background, so we're going to go ahead and type in Christmas tree, and we're going to go ahead and pick this photo right here. Take my snipping tool, once again, wait for it to become HD, which shouldn't be too long. If it does take too long, we'll just see this picture right here. HD. Alright, this picture right here, snipping tool, and as well Control V this into your Photoshop. Now, for this, the Magic Wand tool will not work because, as you can see, it's selecting certain paths. For backgrounds like this with the trees and the sky, there's so many pixels and paths that make up the entire picture that the Magic Wand tool only selects a couple at a time, and it doesn't see all of this as one path as we do. It sees this as a path, this is a path, this is a path, and all these are separate paths. If you did want to get a tree or something out of a background, what you can do is press P on the keyboard, or go down here to the pen tool right above the text tool, and click the outline of the shape or image that you were trying to get out of a current image. So I'm just going fast for the video's sake. I'm not going to do the entire tree. But what you could also do if it is a rounded shape and it is not a clear background or a PNG, you can hold for your next click and move around. So for this right here, how this is kind of curved, what I can do, instead of cutting off that space right here, I'll zoom in so you know what I'm talking about. So I am not completely cutting off this right here and selecting this with the rest of my tree. What I can do is click here and hold to get a more curved shape and it be more accurate, leaving out the blue background in the back. And in order to go to the perfect dimensions of viewing, you can do Control 0 instead of finding out what it is by going in and out. Just press Control 0 and it'll leave a little room for the background and it'll not cut off any of your canvas. So once you have your selected part of what you want to outline, like I'll just go through here and this pen tool, that. Say I wanted this part, I would make selection, make sure my feather radius is at 0 and press enter or click OK. Then there's two ways you can do this. You can do it this way and select what you want and then Control J, and then you'll be able to have only this part, or if you wanted to, part is this way is a little harder than the other. You can select the entire rest of the background, all of this, all the way over here. Then you can just right click, make selection, OK, and delete. And this way is a little harder than just selecting what you want and then pressing Control J, because all Control J does is it can make a new layer, or it'll make a new layer of what you've selected. So say I select a square or something, press Control J, it makes a new layer of this square right here. So Control J, then I'll have only that. Now for the magic wand tool, the magic wand tool is a little better. It's kind of a combination of the pen tool with the precision and the magic wand tool with, I guess, the not precision and only not getting specific spots and kind of having a mind of its own. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try to get the background of the tree, and it makes its own selections, cutting off a lot of parts because it doesn't have exact precision. It clips to a lot of the paths, so you don't really get to choose what it clips to. So say I just want to get rid of everything but this tree right here. You just move all this, move all that. And it is kind of precise. It only does cut off a little bit. But if you want it to be very, very precise and correct, then I would suggest using the pen tool for something like this. Because like I said, you don't get to pick what it cuts off and what it doesn't cut off. So yes, if you do want to get something out of the background or get something out of an image, use the pen tool. But if it is a PNG, use the magic wand tool, and that'll be easier. Because a lot of people, what they think is the magic wand tool removes the background of everything, and that's not entirely true. The pen tool does take a lot of patience though, but it does have a lot of precision and is worth it at the end. The next tool is the crop tool, and the crop tool I don't really personally use that much, but what it does is it lowers the size of your current canvas. So say I only wanted this part of the image, I'll go ahead and click the check mark up here to confirm it, and it'll only give me this right here. Or say I wanted something very small, like only the tip of this, I would OK, and it would give me this. But it does delete your current background. I would not suggest doing this if you do not have it saved or copied anywhere, because it does take down your entire canvas and does not bring you into a new one, which is one thing I really don't like about that, and which is why I try not to use it too much. For the next tool, we are going to be using the Eyedropper tool, and the Eyedropper tool what it does is it takes a color from wherever you want. So I'll get a picture like this, for example, of just a Christmas tree, a PNG. Doesn't really matter if it's PNG or not, just, this is the first thing that popped up. But I will Control V into my canvas, take the eyedropping tool, and then click, and I will now have the color of that Christmas tree. So say if I wanted to do something with the Christmas tree and I need a specific color to add on to it or something like this, I will now have that color, and it'll kind of blend into it. It'll blend into that color right up there. Or if I made something and I no longer have it on my palette, so this green right here, I'm gonna go ahead and take the brush tool and just color a little, and then I accidentally take it out of my palette, or I don't have room for 3, I will take my eyedropping tool or eyedropper tool, and it'll put it back in my palette. For the next tool, we are going to be doing apart from these main 5 right here, we're also going to be doing the paint bucket tool and the gradient tool. And what the paint bucket tool and the gradient tool do is the paint bucket, first of all, basically take any selected area or any type of area, and it'll basically make that color into it. So see, I have the selected square area. I'll just go ahead and click on a new layer, and I'll have a square, and it basically just fills in whatever you need filled in. Same with the gradient tool, but the gradient tool, you get to pick your colors. So if I wanted to, there are preset gradients. So I'll go to my gradient tool by holding down this on the left and going to the gradient tool, and there are presets. So I could make a square, new layer, and you can, for the patterns, you can go wherever you'd like. You can go this way, that way, that way. Or what you could do is you could also hold shift, and it'll go perfectly down the middle, creating a straight line and an even pattern. Or what you can do is you can go down here to your palette, and you can select the colors that you would like your gradient tool to be. So right here is the first one. I want it to be green and red Christmas colors. So I can go like this, and it'll do the entire background, or it'll just do a certain part of a selected area. So I can go, if I only wanted to do like half of it, I could do that, or if I just wanted to do a little part like that. It basically, what this depends on is how much of one color you want it to show. If you want it to be even, you just drag across. If you want it to be uneven, then you stop at a certain point, so one color has more than the other, in this case that being green. The next and last tool that we're going to be going over in this basics tutorial is the text tool. And a lot of you may know how to use the text tool, but you guys may not know some of the certain features that it has. So I'm just gonna make my name, for example, Crynzic, and I'm going to go to this up here. This is the warp text feature of the text tool, and what it does is it makes your text a different shape. Like, for example, you can arc it, and you can mess with the horizontal distortion or the vertical distortion, or you can mess with how much it bends, or you could go to there's fish eye, there's fish flag, and you can kind of be creative with it if it is for a thumbnail, YouTube banner, header, or whatever else. Also, what you can do is you can mess with the separation in the space in between each letter by going up to this here, toggle the character in the graphic panels. So for this, you can make everything here. I'll redo the text so you can see the effects that is taking place. So Crynzic, and I'll take it off an italic font and just have a nice regular bold font right here, and go back up here, and you can make it all italicized as this is, and it'll make all your text italicized. This tool right here, all caps, which if you type a lot of things in caps for whatever type of design or whatever you're using it for, this may automatically turn on for you without you knowing. And for a while, a lot of my text was capitalized, a lot of my text was capitalized, and I didn't really know why. And I figured out that I had to turn this off. So as you can see, now it goes into lowercase, and take that off, it goes into italicized. For this, it makes everything in the same size, but in caps. So lowercase are just smaller caps. So if I were to make actual caps, it would be a lot larger. But these are also in caps, but they're smaller. So everything is in caps. So I'll type my name Crynzic again with lowercase and capitals. Everything is smaller, but it is also still in capitals, if that makes sense. For this, the VA, this is how spread apart all your letters are. For certain fonts, a lot of them are very spread out or too close together, and I use this to change a lot of those. You can make them really, really close, like inside of each other, or you can make them very, very far, far apart. And for this, instead of just pressing space and doing that evenly, this kind of gives it more of a natural, and it's kind of easier and more precise look. But that is pretty much it for the basics of Photoshop. For this, you know, you can go left, right. If you've ever written a paper on Microsoft, it's pretty much the same thing. But yeah, this is pretty much it. I wanted to kind of make the video not too long because I don't want you guys to be confused or too overwhelmed. And I just did the basics. In the next part, this is going to be a part series. I'm going to be doing the tools that I haven't gone over and more in depth to a lot of these tools. Because as you can see, I didn't do these, and some of them have, as you can see, they have the arrows. And I didn't cover everything inside the arrows. But in the next video, I will be doing that. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. All my social medias and links are in the description. Follow me on Twitter at Crynzic, and I'm out. Peace.